Now, look, horse racing industry has admitted it has a problem. Congress has passed a law to deal with it, the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act. Next year, there will be a board overseen by the Federal Trade Commission that puts in new rules and penalties that will be enforced by the anti-doping agency. That's the same agency that oversees athletics. But the Preakness Stakes is Saturday. The Maryland Jockey Club says it is examining the situation. Right now, Medina Spirit Shep is the favorite to win, and Bob Baffert says the horse will go ahead and race there, but he himself will not attend so as to avoid drawing attention away from the Preakness Stakes.
Contessa, a whole lot of people bet on the Derby. What happens if eventually Medina Spirit is stripped of its Derby title?
Nothing. It doesn't change a thing for the gamblers. They bet more than $150 million on the Derby alone, just that one race this year. Churchill Downs, MGM, and others that I asked say, look, the payouts stand as they were when the race finished. Can you imagine the blow? I mean, I talked to several bettors here who gambled on second place Mandaloun to win, and they are not happy, eyeballing what they would have won if their pick had come in first. One well-known horse racing bettor is even talking about organizing a class action lawsuit against the tracks, the state racing commission. He says, look, they knew that they had this trainer in there, but he says any class action lawsuit would have to include especially trainer Bob Baffert. And can I just point out again, Shep, Baffert says, once again, he never gave that drug to Medina Spirit.
But they tested him, and Medina Spirit had the drug in him. So we'll see when there's another test. What does this mean in the main for the sport moving forward?
I mean, this is a really high-profile case, and even if it turns out that this second test comes back and it doesn't match the first test, it still casts this cloud of suspicion on the race, on Bob Baffert for sure. There are a lot of questions right now about the lab and whether the lab involved should have been used for this. There's now demands for why isn't there testing right before the race so that we know before the payouts start it's not fair, it's not fair. I mean, I heard this not fair argument multiple times today. I think the real question is, as more states move to legalize sports betting, Shep, how can new players who may have never bet on horse racing before, be confident that there's integrity to this sport? Because it ruins it for everybody if there's cheating involved.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Thank you. You know, Contessa, Bob Baffert was booked to join us at this moment, as he did last Monday night after his horse won. I spoke with him on the phone this morning at his home in California, and he was eager to do it. A few minutes ago, his team called my team and canceled, his wife citing some sort of emergency which she did not explain or about which she had no detail. Bob Baffert has denied any wrongdoing and said he feels like he was wronged, but his horse was the only one in the Kentucky Derby field that tested positive for this substance. Pat Ford of Sports Illustrated has been covering him and horse racing for decades, and he wrote the following over the weekend. While there is a vivid history of tawdry, dirty tricks at racetracks, it defies belief that any shadowy figure could get to a Baffert Derby horse and inject him with a prohibited substance with days of America's biggest race. Ultimately, this very much seems like the same sad song, different verse when it comes to drug testing and sports. The denials are always vigorous. They are often fanciful. They are rarely compelling. I was going to ask Bob Baffert to respond to us on that one. Of course, as I mentioned, he called a few minutes ago and canceled on us. We'll welcome him back. And given the developments of today and the ones ahead, I hope he will join us. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.